Hey guys, DanielGames here and welcome back to another video on my channel, and today I'm going to be starting the series of Latin Gamers tips and tricks. I know you guys wanted this series, so here it is, and the first episode is going to be about movement. Now, I'm basically going to be talking about the three main types of movements that I see on Latin Gamers and kind of like talk about them. So pretty much the first main movement I see is AD taps, and this is why you want to use this, okay? AD taps is something you want to do, because on LAN gamers, always going straight at the player won't always work. You want to know why? Because the knockback just doesn't allow you to just keep going straight and just combo the player. So you always want to AD tap. Now, AD taps are something that you basically go right, left, over and over and over again, and this basically throws off your player's aim, and it makes it set like they can't really hit you. The next thing you want to do is you want to straight line. Now, there's different things for straight lines. Straight lines are not like running at the player and just hoping you get a straight line. That you can usually do that on like Steves that are pretty bad at the game. But straight lines, you want to look for that opportunity where you can straight line. For example, if somebody's going up a hill and they jump up a block and you're on top of that hill, you can rob them or just go in with your sword, and since they're already jumping up a block, they're already in the air and you can hit them and they'll usually go flying. Or when, like, say somebody's building up, say you're below them, and somebody's building up and jumping on you, and you're really close to them. So, how am I supposed to explain this? So, say there's 2 blocks high right beside you, okay, and you're right in front of it, and a person's on top of that, and they jump off and go and jump on your head. You're so close to them to the point where you can hit them in midair, and they'll go flying backwards, and you can get 3 or 4 hits before they hit the ground. And basically, it ends up, you end up getting a 3 or 4 hit combo, and the player has no chance of actually hitting you, just because you know how Minecraft works with, like, how when you're up in the air and when you're down low and everything like that. And like, honestly, sometimes I'm low health and I just don't gapple. I just wait for them to do that because I know they're gonna build up and just kind of jump over, and I hit them 2 or 3 times before they hit the ground. Then we're both at the same health, or I'll just kind of back away and gapple after that moment. I think I recorded some of these, so if you guys like watch my videos, you should see a bunch of these type of clips. I know, like I said earlier, I'm not going to be like recording like a certain clip and just kind of showing it, because it'd be very hard because I talk more in depth and stuff. But anyways, moving on to the next one, which is circle strafes. Now, the reason you want to do circle strafes, okay? So circle strafes is basically going around the player. And when you're using this, the reason you want to use it is because it throws off your player's aim the most. Now, a lot of people in this game either have a really high sensitivity or a really low sensitivity. So this basically, like, people with low sensitivities do not like people who circle strafe, because they have to flick their mouse around, or they have to kind of like their mouse goes off their mouse pad and it's hard. But for me, with high sensitivity, it doesn't really matter. But pretty much, how do you basically do these circle strafes? So pretty much, say you place a lava on somebody and they place water. Don't just stand there and hit them forwards. Go around them in a circle. Get behind them, because most likely they won't see you. They're looking down to place a water bucket. And if there's a cobblestone around them, then most likely they can't even see you at all. But if there's just a one lava block, they can mostly see your legs. But they're usually looking straight down at the water because they want to, place water correctly. They're not really looking at where you are. So if you can be behind them, getting 2 or 3 more hits before they actually turn around. And if you're even at, like, just in front of them, the person can place water really quickly and then hit you. You'll only get basically 1 hit. So you want to go circle strafes all around so that you can actually get more hits than what the other player would get. So like, you basically just want to go around them, because you don't want them to hit you. You want to hit them more than the other player hits you. And if you're standing in front of them, then they can hit you pretty easily. But if you're behind them, then they have to turn all the way around. You can get 2 or 3 hits. Maybe they just don't turn around at all. Maybe they try to run. You can get even more hits. So the next part of this video is strategies to counter these. So strategies to counter AD taps. So if you know a player does a lot of AD taps, and for me, I do a lot of AD taps, like W taps involved with that, but W taps, I'll make a whole in-depth video on how to do that if you guys don't know how to do that already. But pretty much, I do a lot of AD taps. I know a lot of other people on Latin Gamers do AD taps as well. And pretty much how to counter this is you want to get them in an area where they can't AD tap. So pretty much, you want to place blocks in front of them. Or, like, for example, if you're in the igloo map, that's a really good example for how to stop AD taps, because there's, like, places like behind the igloo where it's a 1x1. You can't AD tap in a 1x1. And there's like the places where like this kind of like ice spike things are sticking down. It's like ice blocks are like 2 blocks high. They're kind of sticking down. You can't AD tap in that area because you can just kind of run around and crit because like it's only 2 blocks high and you can kind of get crits. And you're already like blocked by other blocks, so you can't really AD tap. So you just basically want to place blocks and get them in an area of the map where they cannot do that, where they're forced to hit you head on, or where they're forced to place water because you're lavaing and stuff, or where you can lava. Lava is a really good way to counter AD taps because they just can't move. People can't move, and you can always go around them, like I said with the circle strafes. So for the next one, how to counter straight lines. Now, a lot of people, they just take the straight line. They eat it, okay? Like, when they're getting hit, they just eat the straight line. Like, let's just keep getting the straight line, you know? But that's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to basically, like, once you realize you're getting straight lined a lot, turn around. Run for half a second. Now, most people in Latin Gamers or any build UHC server, they're like, it's kind of like scummy to run and anything like that, but no, it isn't. As long as you're not running the entire game, you'll be fine. Alright? You'll be fine. It's not like it's the worst thing in the world to run and bow a little bit or run and rod and stuff like that. So, basically, if you notice you're getting straight line, turn around and run a little bit. Rob the person away, gapple up, heal again. Realize, hey, these guys are good at W taps or just good at straight lining. Get them in an area where they can't straight line, like place blocks in front of them to block them, or place lava where they can't really move and they can't really straight line you. So, always just kind of look for the way out. Just don't take the straight lines, okay? You want to move away from the player that's actually doing it. Now, there's not really many ways to counter straight lines other than just running away and just kind of noticing the player straight lining and try to, like, throw off their aim, I guess. Or so I want to try to throw off their aim because pretty much if they're straight lining, they get, like, they're aimed at you, like, straight in front of you. But if you're off to the side, they can't really straight line you, and it causes problems with their aim. And you can basically come in there and just side strafe them, and it just works like that. The next one is circle strafes. So circle strafes are pretty easy to counter. And when so say somebody's trying to circle strafe you. You can move straight into their path by just holding A and W or D and W. Because if they're trying to circle around you, if you can stop them before they circle around you, or just by looking at them sometimes. Usually, circle strafes work on people who don't have good aim. You can go complete a circle around, like those are usually the Steves and Alexes that just start the game. And you can basically just keep going around them in a circle and they cannot find you. But if you know that your aim's not good, alright, you know that your aim could be better, you want to kind of move into their path. Now, you may be trading hits, but it's better than getting comboed 5 or 6 times because you can't really notice where the player is. So you always want to kind of move into their path. And sometimes I have trouble facing these circle strafers that like place lava and then they go around in circles and I just can't aim because I don't know where they are. And sometimes they get 3 or 4 hits that, you know, I could have easily, you know, countered if I was to know where they were. And just kind of like going into them. Just you want to like throw them off their pattern, because if you know your bad aim, you want to keep going at them, make sure that you can see them in front of you, and make sure that they can't really get around you by placing blocks or by just running at them, like using the A and W or D and W, like I just said. So anyways, guys, that is the conclusion to the first episode of this Latin Gamers Tips and Tricks. Now, I hope me talking to you guys can really help you realize what I noticed and what you guys can do to be better at this and just get more win streaks and just kind of notice what you're doing. So the second episode will be about secondaries, and this is kind of like how to counter secondaries. It's the reason I'm doing how to counter it and instead of just how to counter and how to use it, because it's a very in-depth topic and it's kind of hard to talk about both. So next one will be like how to counter secondaries, and then episode 3 will be about like bow, rods, lavas, like just all the other secondaries and how to use them. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, and have a great day.